So I did my research on the Nepal earthquake of 2015. So the earthquake happened April 25th, 2015 in Nepal at 11:56 a.m. It happened 50 miles northwest of the capital of Nepal, and it was felt through a majority of Nepal as well as parts of India, Bangladesh, and South Tibet. And the magnitude of this earthquake was 7.6, but the part that was considered the most deadly was the 300 aftershocks that followed the main earthquake. So it happened because of a collision plate boundary between the Indian and Eurasian plates, and the constant crashing of the two plates formed the Himalayan mountain ranges just to show the magnitude of them. The earthquake changed the compressional pressure between the Eurasian tectonic plate and the Indian section of the Indo-Australian plate, which subducts the Eurasian plate. And it was a very deep earthquake because it was 5 miles beneath the earth. So a ton of people were injured and killed. 9,000 people were killed and 20,000 were injured. And over 8 million people were impacted by the earthquake overall. And that's approximately 1/3 of Nepal's total population. And 5 years after the earthquake is when a large majority of the people affected were able to get back to their own homes. It also triggered a 6-month border blockade between the surrounding countries because of the damage that had been done. And new national construction was drafted, and a National Reconstruction Authority was drafted. And the environmental impacts were probably the biggest part of it. Over 500,000 houses were destroyed, and 269,000 were damaged additionally. It damaged historical and cultural monuments called the UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and it was estimated that $7.1 billion was the total damage. And poor infrastructure of the buildings was a reason there was so much damage and death. A lot of their buildings are made out of brick, which is heavy and not super sturdy. So when the first earthquake hit, it rattled them. And a lot of people got stuck under bricks, which caused them to lose their life. And almost all the animals lost their shelters. And after they lost their shelters, they also lost their life because of the harmful elements in the air. And the tectonic plate slipped as much as 6 meters, and it moved the ground beneath the capital by 3 meters southward. That was the strength of the earthquake. And here are some other interesting facts. This wasn't even the worst earthquake in Nepal's history. There was one 80 years ago, which was more deadly. The strength of it caused avalanches at Mount Everest, and it actually killed a camp in Mount Everest. At the bottom of Mount Everest, it killed 12 people from an avalanche. Economic losses were estimated to be between 9% to 50% of GDP. And there was a massive food shortage due to the livestock death. And they imported a bunch of livestock after the ones that they had already passed. But those became very ill as well because of the air. And then they ate them super quick, so they still ran out of food. And that is it.